Hey, y'all.
Yo.
Yo. So I think we should just get it over with. We should just get it out so that nobody asks.
Yeah.
How did you get into voice acting?
Make a long story short, I actually ended up doing a competition at Anime Expo. There's like, hundreds of people auditioning. Yeah, it was really nice. I was like around 16, like when I won that, but I've been doing voice acting stuff kind of ever since I was like around 13, 14. So yeah, I ended up winning the competition and been working with Bang Zoom ever since.
Awesome. Yeah. Were you nervous?
Yeah, I was shaking.
It was in front of people.
Yeah, no, I'm a shaker. You got hold of a script, right?
Yeah.
And you know how like sometimes you see people on stage and you're like, they're like arms going around. I can't like read the freaking text because
why I couldn't do theater. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was really nervous, but my friends I almost didn't even do it. My friends pushed me in the wall and were like, "No, you should do it," and we're all going to do it too. And I did it. And
awesome.
Yeah, and it's like one of those make or break moments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What kind of practice? You said you been doing stuff since you were 13. What kind of practice did you do?
Oh gosh, I was just kind of like. My practice, I had a lot of different training. I took some classes with Crispin Freeman. You guys know who he is? Yeah, very awesome voice actor. I did like a lot of the Adventures of Voice Acting stuff, training with Bang Zoom, the classes they kind of do. I did just some commercial training in LA. We do a lot of commercial stuff and just kind of like practice stuff online. Like just looking at characters and being like, I wonder what this guy would sound like, or what would he sound like with my voice. I got a little microphone set up and a Mac, and I pressed record and I listened back a million times.
Yeah. I think that's an important part of it. It's one thing to like practice just reading out loud for a character, and then it's another thing to record yourself doing it, because when you hear yourself after the fact, you sound different. I don't know how to explain it, but it's not the same.
It's weird. Like I remember listening back to my voice as a little kid, and I was like super insecure about it, especially like when my voice was changing. I'm like, oh my gosh, I sound like a nerd. I really didn't like my voice at all, and in school, I was super nerdy. Everybody knew that I loved like anime stuff, video game stuff, like Naruto, and it just like everything, and everybody's like, you're so nerdy, but you're kind of cool, and it was just like this weird thing. I was like cool and nerdy at the same time, which is possible. You can be cool and nerdy, just like all of you guys.
Yeah! Dude, that's a good story. Like that's what I wish. Because people would like come up to me at after panels or like at signings, and they'd be like, it's just so good to know that someone at my age can get into this industry, and because I was like, I'd be like 13 or something like that, and they'd be like, how did you do it? And I'd be like, my cousin got me in. Awkward. But no, like never trust your role models.
To be able to do that though, like to be able to do any of this at 13, to just be able to like read clearly, I think is just very like it's extremely impressive. I remember like I've seen people like all these other kids, in my classes in my schools. I don't really know if they could, become voice actors and stuff too. How you have to like read out loud and stuff in class, and a lot of people kind of struggle with that. So I think having that ability to be able to do something like that is just doing it on your own, no matter like how you got it. You look at your performance and that shows the goal.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, I was literate. I'll give myself that one. So I guess we can open it to questions. Also, Caitlin Glass is going to stop by at some point. So be excited. Yeah.
So this actually question is for you, Aaron, and also or actually for both of you. You both want to first thing, Aaron, I'm a fan of yours. My name also happens to Aaron as well. It's one of those game moments.
There can only be one. Step up. Let's go.
There we go, but I'm a huge fan of yours, I want to say. I heard you in a ton of anime.
Thanks.
But yeah, like, really, like, what was it like starting like really young like that? Like, did you
I had a nice safety net because, like I said, so my cousin got me in. I was pretending to be able to read Lord of the Rings as a 9-year-old. I don't think I got much out of it. But he saw me with this giant book, the size of my head, And he was like, okay, yeah, maybe I can try this kid instead of using, they normally use women for kids that young. And so, yeah, he just literally gave me a part in Fruits Basket. And it was nice because I would have been incredibly nervous if it had been a stranger, but I was being directed by a man I'd known my entire life. My cousin, he's in my dad's band, me and Justin are tight. So it was less frightening whenever I started because of that. And also the character was Hirosoma, who's just like a snarky brat, which is kind of what I aimed to be. You know, I fell short sometimes, but that was my ideal. My super ego was to be a snarky little brat. And so, you know, I didn't have to do a whole lot of acting that I wasn't already doing in my daily life. So that was cool. And then, yeah, I guess from there it was, you know, it pretty rapidly turned into Al, and then it was just like this tremendous ego boost.
You play so many characters, like you play a lot. One of my favorites is Kyo Kakuzu, the guy from Cat Planet. Every time, I swear to you, every time I hear that line, okay, I directly relate to your character. Because every time I'm like, what is it, the part where Monomi's teasing you and you're this picture of like the kids in the train, and you're like, I'm never getting to the end of this. My two friends, every time we go to the tease me non-stop. Because the girls always come up to me and freaky cosplayers. So every line from that series, I always do directly relate to your character.
I'm glad to hear it, man. That is the only show, Cat Planet Cuties is the only show I'm in that my friends, like my close friends, have all watched. And they did it solely to make fun of me. They made a drinking game out of it. They're terrible people.
Oh, yeah, the blue, light blue hair, yeah.
Okay. Question for Aaron and also so you were voice acting for a while, but then you started doing line direction. Like, how did you transition from that? Zach, did you ever consider doing that at like some point, like going over to behind the scenes?
Yeah, I think that would be really cool. I mean, you know, like seeing how, like before I even started voice acting, you know, looking at the, you know, like the whole production side of it, it kind of makes you really respect like the entire team that works on the show a lot more. Whereas before, you know, like just looking at it as a fan, and I just kind of see the voice actors, I might see like the director or something, but I usually only really like, you know, looked at the voice actor side, but you know, seeing how hard like everybody else works, the director, people, you know, writing the scripts, the mixing people, I mean, they just work so hard on the show, so definitely, I think being like a director or like writing stuff would be really cool, you know, I like writing stuff, so hopefully they'd have me.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's seeing how like crippling it is if any of the parts drop the ball. Like the trifecta is important between like writer, director, and actor. I've yet to see a director, you know, like choke and not be good. But also, you know, like I would tell you if I did it. Cast me senpai. But like I've seen it whenever scripts are bad. And it's a session-halting problem. Like, you know, what you want to do, the dream, whenever you're on the acting side, is to like have this page of script and to work your way through a conversation and let it feel as organic as possible, feel the build and the differences between the lines and that connection. If you have to stop every line to make sure that it fits the flaps and adjust it and fix it up, that's when it starts to like get a little bit disconnected. You know, y'all, I don't know if y'all notice this, but sometimes like you can just tell, like I can tell whenever I'm watching if something was recorded at 2 different times because
right. Yeah, like you listen to that and you just, it drives me crazy because I'm like, oh, they picked up those lines. Like they came back in and they redid those lines. It sounds kind of different, or their voice is a little bit off, and they're not even
coming from a different spot.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Or like they were scratching this day and not the next day. Yeah, we overanalyze things. So. Yes.
Well, yesterday you told me that you start watching Italian, right?
Yeah.
Got something.
Did you?
Yeah, this is for you.
Thank you.
I was waiting for you to be like this as we hug. Like, you want to do it? You want to get it in all the details? Okay, I got you. Yeah.
Who else has gifts? You know, if you don't have gifts, don't even raise your hand. I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay. Hey, George, what's that? Yeah.
So, with you guys being so young and relatively, do you ever find it a bit hard to let, let the ego get to your head? Because even some well-known actors, whether it's Hollywood or whether it's in the voice acting world, can sometimes let their fame or let their success get to them. And how do you guys keep your confidence level?
Well, like I think for me, you know, I'm still new. You know, I think a lot of people are kind of like starting to know who I am, and so sometimes like it's a little bit weird because I don't really, I don't know, I just don't really expect it because I was like a fan like 2 years ago. You know, like going to Anime Expo, just like everybody else waiting in the 4-hour-long line. Oh, that was terrible. Yeah, you know, I think it's just kind of like every single time I get a role or like, you know, I get more like interaction like on Twitter or something, I'm just like I try to keep it humble and keep it real. You know, everybody else is like a real human being and I'm just like, I don't know, I'm just like, I just try to keep it really chill and like unless, you know, until I become like the voice of SpongeBob or something like that, then I think then that's when the ego will explode. But for right now, you know, I'm just like, keep it. Yeah, no, that is true.
It's up there with like Dragon Ball Z. So.
Yeah, that's true. I'm just, I keep it chill. Okay.
I think you're also working the 7 Deadly Sins, aren't you?
Yeah, Arthur.
Awesome show.
Yeah, it's really cool. What about you?
Yeah, you know, like Zach said, it's hard to balance the knowledge that you are a shiny golden god.
Just walking out
with the, you know, accepting the fate of your unworthy followers. I'm just kidding, I'm sorry. Keeping it real. No, basically for me, I think I probably would have become a megalomaniac, but my father would work me every summer. My father was a teacher, so he had summer breaks off, so it'd be like, you know, anime convention on the weekend, but then I spend all week digging a trench so that we can replace our piping, and it's like, okay, I'm not like, pouring some concrete, this is glamour. Yeah, that helped a lot.
Also the money too. When I'm making millions, then that's when the ego will explode. When I'm living in a freaking Beverly Hills mansion next to like Brad Pitt or something, that's when I'll get. That's when the ego will come out.
Well, it's really for me. What did it for me was throwing dollar bills on Brad Pitt as he stripped. That was really where I cracked, I think. Caitlin was there. What did you think of that?
Where was I?
You know, we were talking about how to stay humble in the industry.
Okay.
What's your 2 cents on that?
Seriously? Is that honestly that's the question?
That was a question a while ago.
Deep questions.
Yeah.
Good for you. I think you just have to remember that you can be replaced. Seriously, like no matter how much you are loved or how great you are as a voice actor, and maybe you could get in your head like, I played Alphonse Elric. Screw all y'all. But you know what? You know who else did? Maxie Whitehead. You know? I'm just picking on Aaron because he's here. But ultimately, like what we are when we get roles that are like a big deal, or that you guys are like, so-and-so's my favorite character. You would have loved the character of Alphonse whether Aaron played the character or Zach played the character. They're both great. They're both great great at what they do, and we are just fortunate enough to get to bring them to life in English. I guarantee you, like if you watch it in Japanese, you probably have a favorite character, and it's going to be the same in both languages. So it's really the character, and you just have to remind yourself of that at the end of the day.
Yeah, the person who really asked the question, you're totally right. Like the person who asked that question too would be like the manga artist. Like the actual person who created that character, they must struggle with the god complex because they've made some cool stuff.
That's an amazing question.
Yes. Me? Okay, my first question is for Erin, and then I have one for all, and then I have a second one for all of you, but Caitlin doesn't have to answer since I already asked her.
Oh.
Well, my first question is, you started at Funimation when you were 9, you said? 9 or 10?
Yeah.
You kind of grew up with the Funimation casting crew, and I was wondering how it was strange kind of watching you grow up going from Little Alphonse Elric and Full Metal Alchemist to Dead Man Wonderland, and just kind of what people were doing because originally Monica Rial, she was in the original Full Metal. Was she like, oh my god, Erin, there you are in Full Metal, and then there you are swearing and killing in Dead Man Wonderland?
Yeah, this was a little weird for some people. Like people would like put out like I think like the first time that I cussed was weird for some of the actors who'd like watched me grow up. Monica in particular still tells me every time I see her that she's pretty sure I got taller, and I just tell her that she's shrinking.
You're getting old and you're shrinking.
Yeah. And my second question for Zach and Erin, Caitlin, I'll answer, unless you can. What is your favorite movie line, video game line, whatever, and can you say it in your favorite voice too, whether you've done it professionally or not?
Yeah, right?
Ooh.
The boys usually know this stuff.
Ooh. Ooh.
That was it, right?
Oh, what kind of movies are y'all watching?
Mine too.
Oh, you know what? I think I know what it is. I played a lot of Halo back in the day, and I remember Halo 3 and Master Chief comes down on my, please excuse the terrible chief. Let's finish the fight. Boom. Sorry, I mean, come on, I mean, Steve Dallas has like the deepest voice in the world, so you can't do it, but that's it. Let's finish the fight. When Cortana's like, are you sure we can do this? He's like, yeah. Finish the fight.
I should have been using that time to come up with an answer.
Hey, I love the nodding conversation that we had. Like, the nodding conversation that we had.
Oh yeah, I remember. Him and me. So I'm a compulsive nodder. Whenever I see people, like I can't not like. Like
You do
I can just see them. Yeah. I make it awkward. Totally. I'm working on it, only not really.
You don't have to. We like it. It's charming.
But I saw him in the line, and we just happened to make eye contact as he was like waiting for the signing. Every single time we made eye contact, I nodded at him, and he was like, it's the third time. And I was like, uh-oh. I totally believe
Third time, but who's counting?
Yeah.
Who's
counting?
Second time.
Oh, okay. It's not so bad. It's not bad. I was trying to make it.
And I nodded. I nodded
Zach
first.
the mic's in the way. There he is.
I nodded first, so it was kind of my bad.
You're still thinking of your answer. How about you in the white shirt?
I was curious for Caitlin and Erin what it was like being the Danganronpa series animes.
You're in that?
Yeah.
I am now.
Oh, you're in it. Which one are you? Which one are you in?
I am the super high school level gangster.
Like gangsta, like hold the gun sideways.
I like affect like a very half-assed Boston accent. I mean like Brooklyn accent.
Oh.
Yeah.
But I mean, are you
Don't tell
the
Bella,
future
he doesn't-
one or
he
the
doesn't know.
despair one? Despair one?
Yeah, despair, obviously.
Obviously.
I totally knew
Caitlin,
that.
who doesn't know anything.
Together.
Okay, so the question, what's it like being in Danganronpa? It's cool, but it was a little weird the first time around because, are you in the game?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
No.
Aww.
I wish.
Oh, hey, they can make more. You don't know. It's a little intimidating being a part of a pre-existing franchise, and you're playing a character that everyone else is already familiar with a different voice actor's voice on it. So I'm like, oh, I hope that I do this right. And I didn't listen to Erica Harlacker's performance. I was just trusting what Bevins wanted, what the director wanted for the anime. And that's all. And I just knew when they finally announced the cast, I wanted to like give a shout out to her, and I didn't want the fans to start going, I like so-and-so better, or this and that better. So it was more like, hey, I get to play this really cool character. You already love her because Erica played her and she was wonderful. Please watch the show and all of that. So it was a little freaky, but I'm happy to be part of it because she's a cool chick.
Oh my god, like I just remembered, I was actually like out at dinner with her when that happened. She's like, oh my gosh, Caitlin Glass on Twitter. And she was like, yeah, she loved it. It was awesome. Yeah, she was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Like that's so cool. Like that, you know, we're friends and she's playing the thing. And yeah.
Actors like each other.
That reminds me of whenever Brotherhood came out, or like they started recording it, Maxie sent me a Facebook message saying like, you know, a bunch of nice things, like
She's pro.
she's the film and stuff. Yeah, she's super cool.
And you guys are
It's a nice
still
thing
being
to do.
in a really rad way.
Yeah.
So it worked out for everyone.
Totes.
For the record, you two did great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Zach, you're great too.
Oh, thank you. Hi guys. How about the fan?
We're like, we're all fans. We're fans. The red fan.
The literal fan.
How often, if at all, do you go back and rewatch or re-listen to what you do and like critique yourselves?
Anytime that I do see my own performance, I'm like, I will occasionally cringe. I'd say I've got like a maybe 50% rate of, yeah, that was good. That line was as good as I can make it. But there's like another, you know, the next one is like, oh, I should have done this. Or at least I should have tried what it's like. And I'm the same way as the director, like I want to try a bunch of things and I waste time. It's horrible.
Wait, sorry to say this, but like just to interrupt real quick. When you like you said like you don't go back and critique yourself, right? What about when you're saying like something like in quotes, for instance, you said that I'll kick your ass. What when you say stuff like that? Then you go back?
No, for a lot of, yeah, there are a few like clutch moments where, you know, I feel like those moments that are like memorable, like the moments everybody remembers, like Roy Mustang saying, I love dogs, like those little like key phrases of certain people, like we take our time with those, and it also like sort of clicks because it's the iconic moments feel like them before you record them, and so like you have a stronger idea of how you want to deliver those kind of lines. So those I rarely regret, that kind of stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah, like for me, I recently went back and watched All Noah Zero, and I was actually kind of happy with my performance. Whereas before, like I remember I watched it like right after it came out, and I like, you know, we did the whole screening with the Aniplex like a bang Zoom. We all were in the theater, all the actors and stuff, and it's just like every single line, I'm just like, oh. Like I wanted to walk out, you know, I just can't handle hearing myself. I'm like, everybody else did so amazing and I sucked. Ugh. You know, and I think it's just kind of like, sometimes I get like this really critical mindset when I'm watching things, and it's just like I'm way too hard on myself and I really need to be. And then I kind of go back and I watch a little bit of it later and I'm like, yeah, like I could see how I might have been able to do better. I could have done this differently, but I think I'm pretty happy with it. So
You can always say too, like if there's a moment you're like, God, that's not very good, just tell yourself the client made me do it that way.
That's it.
Yeah, that happens in Los Angeles, so. Nothing in front of Asian, but yeah. I think if I happen to be directing a show, then I will end up hearing, like directing a show that I'm in, hearing my performance a lot, because as a director, every episode when it's, obviously, if I'm a character and then Aaron is in the scene with me and Zach is in the scene with me, every time they come in afterwards, I'm hearing my performance again. You just get very used to it, and I forget really that it's me. It's like the actor that is that character. And after the episode is done, I have to watch it again in the booth, and after it's mixed, I have to watch it again. So I'm very much outside of it anymore, which is pretty cool. Only if it's a new voice am I concerned. You know, am I doing it right? Am I being consistent? But even then, I can it's almost like tell that actor, that happens to be me, adjust their pitch here, there, etc.
I really hope that like develops into an actual like
Tell
psychological
that
problem.
That Caitlin Glass one, what a pain she is.
I just picture you on like a therapist couch doing that.
So I said to myself, I said, Caitlin, you've got to raise your pitch. I don't know what that voice is. I hope I get to use it someday. Somebody pick a person.
You right there in the very front.
I want to know if there was a favorite song you play for someone or a favorite Bob Juice.
Ooh, okay, hold on, I gotta think, I know this one. This is just kind of like a blooper, but I think Chris might have used it as a bomb. Basically, in One Punch Man, it hasn't, this episode hasn't even aired yet, but it's like the Sea King like fight. Genos runs into Speedo Sound Sonic, and he's like, "Who are you? What are you doing here?" or something. And then the line that, because Speedo Sound Sonic ended up being naked because he just got all of his clothing ripped off by Sea King. He's like, "Who are you? Why can I see your balls?" Chris came up with it. He's like, "You should do it." I'm like, "I'll do it, man." It sounded funny. He played it back.
Favorite bombs?
I think it's not technically my own, but I was substitute directing for Bevins in Arslan, Heroic Legend of Arslan. There was this episode with Chris Sabat in it, and he basically is this giant king man named Andragoras, and he breaks out of prison. He's like been rubbing soup. I tell Sabat this, I'm like, yeah, he's been rubbing soup and sweat onto his chains, and now they're rusty. And so when this prince guy comes up, he's just gonna like break his chains and then brain one of the guards and then slap one of the others, and then he just grabs the prince and takes him hostage. And I'm explaining all this as I'm trying to load the script, but then I failed to load the script. And I'm like, okay, just give me a minute. And it took me like a good 15 minutes to load the script.
Oh no.
Yeah, so Sabat was like, let's just go. So as I'm looking for the script and I call in people to try to help me, Sabat is going through this scene blind and just watching it and making up crap. And so he's all chained up and he's like, thank you for all the soup, by the way. And then he starts to laugh, and then he breaks the chains and he's like, yes! Oh! And then, gets one of the guys like, gotcha! And he's like, behold the power of soup! And he grabs the prince and he's like, I was told that this jail cell would have cable, but it only had 3 channels, and one of them was news. You know how I hate the news. So Eric Vale, presumably, he was the prince character, so presumably he faced an entire scene of bombs from Chris Sabat. And I think that's the best, most comprehensive bomb I've ever had.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I don't leave them too often, but I am a great, I forget what the word is. I'm an instigator. As a director, I'm always telling my actors to leave them for people, because it makes my sessions much more entertaining later on. So when I get the worst, if anybody's like, can I leave a bomb for? Please do. How many do you want to do? We got plenty of time. Let's go. Let's do the whole scene. I'll help you write them. Okay. Aaron was directing a show. I can't say what it is, but I got to play a really small part in it. It was really fun. And there's a newer actor. I've never even met this person before. And Aaron's like, do you want to prank this new actor? I'm like, do I? Yeah.
She's like this IT that is like in his
just
ear.
like a disembodied voice in the ear thing. And he's like, I don't know what to do though, just like do accents or whatever. So we decided, okay, so now she's going to be German. So the computer, yeah, it's a German computer. And I'm telling you what to do. And then I would shout just very suddenly, like, you're doing it wrong! Like that. There's some numbers, like there was a countdown, so then I just did that in German also. And then at the end, I sang like the German national anthem, which is really offensive. It's like, "Große Vaterland" and stuff. This poor actor though was so concerned with like putting on a good face and being like, I'm going to be professional, that you said he wouldn't allow himself to laugh at any of it.
Yeah, he like literally did not notice it until we watched it back for everything up to the singing. This was over the course of like a solid 12 episodes.
Yeah. We would do
Just
the real.
every single time she spoke to him, bomb.
We did the real take, and there are no flaps, so we have plenty of time to do it real.
Yeah.
And then I would be the weird German lady. So awesome. We jokingly started goofing on a show called Prince of Stride Alternative that I directed, which is a really fun sports show. Aaron is in it, and we all loved it so much. And the thing with broadcast dubs is as soon as they're done, we're on to the next one. And there isn't much time to like honor this thing that you did or celebrate it. And everybody, I could tell, every cast member was really sad that it was ending. And I didn't want to leave on a sad note. So it was like, hey, for fun, let's just like redo our lines, but make it a bro episode. One character already is a bro, Heath, if you watch the show. And everybody else is normal, so I said, keep your characterization and keep the voice, just add in vocabulary, if you will. So we ended up doing the entire episode. Every single line of everything is now what we lovingly call the bro-isode. Episode 12 has 2 versions. We don't know that the bro-isode will ever see the light of day for all of you. It may at like a convention, you know, in a late night panel or something. So that is like one whole episode that is a giant bomb. Yeah. We hope maybe it can be, but eventually you'll be able to hear it some way, shape, or form. But it's pretty rad, you guys.
Yeah, just like release it
I have
onto
to
the
put
deep
some on my
web.
phone on my screen.
Oh, yes. We finished that session early, and so Caitlin let me watch the entire episode. And the best, the funniest parts of it are when it gets like really like serious and emotional in the real show, and like, you know, the music like syncs up with the action and stuff, and there's like some slow-mo, and it's like, it's really well designed, so it actually like gives you that feeling of the shivers regardless of what's said. But what's being said is like,
dude, bro. I love you, bro.
you're my world, bro.
You're my bro. That's in there. It's really in there. Yeah, exactly. I mean, the show, for example, the main team is Honan. Well, they become Bronan. And the team that they're running against is Kakyoin, which becomes Kakbroin. And like, anybody who has an O sound in their name, that syllable becomes bro. So Kyosuke is brosuke. And if you have an U sound, it becomes dude. So Takeru is now Takedude. And yeah, the main character is Riku Yagami, and we changed his name to Rikudude Bragami. And none of it's planned. Like, all of it is essentially improvised. Yeah. Yeah.
As young actors, you mentioned your father was a teacher. I'll bet they were making a whole lot more money.
Because teachers don't make a bunch. Is that what you're getting at?
That's what working in a field where I'm guessing you would be making more money than, you know, the average kid going to work. Did your parents make a concerted effort to try to help you to handle your money and invest, that kind of thing?
Yeah, they invested it in rent. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, because you like started acting when you were still living at home, and so like
Yeah.
What they do with your money? Did they put it in an account for you, or
Yeah, they put it in an account. I spent it somehow.
I don't know. You crashed a few cars.
I did crash a few cars. That's probably the main thing.
I'm sorry for this.
But I'll say
I know you love
I didn't make that much money because I still my first job outside of Funimation was still at a grocery store as a bagging boy, and then I worked at World Market in retail for a year. I've balanced part-time jobs with school with voice acting for a very long time, so I didn't have that much money. I probably would have if I hadn't crashed my cars. Oh no, I did. Yeah, I was just talking about I would have had money.
the money. Yeah.
I would have been able to impress the ladies. No, I wouldn't have. No, that's like the
same thing too. Yeah, no, you know what I mean? Like you're kind of like young and you're making like, you know, like some money's coming in and your parents see that and you know, like your parents are paying, my parents are paying a lot of the bills and stuff, you know, and they're like, oh hey, you can afford to pay rent, right? You know, you're 18, you can contribute. Yeah, you can contribute to this family, you know, give us some money, and you're just like, no. My parents are really cool, you know, they're just like, yeah, like you should save all of your money, and that's kind of like what I've been doing. Just everything has just all been just going in the bank, trying not to spend too much because I want to buy a car.
That's awesome. Yeah, they're super young. I think the thing to remember though, especially in voice acting, is that while we get paid well per hour, we may not work many hours. So, and you never know, you can't really count on it. Maybe you get to be the lead in something, but that's only gonna last for 3 months. And when that show is over, then what? So it is really important to be saving. It is important to have another job. It doesn't have to be some non-creative job. You can go work retail like Aaron. I've done that too, work in an office, or just diversify yourself. I'm like, I'm gonna write scripts over here, I'm gonna have an agent and be auditioning for commercials. So all of your eggs are not in your little anime voice acting basket. You know, that's what's important.
Yeah, we're like, with the anime, we feed on it like boa constrictors. It's like, you know, it's feast or famine, you know, you gorge and then you just try to like stay as still as possible for a couple weeks. Until the next hapless antelope wanders into your vicinity.
You get up only to make some ramen, crawl back into your
Muskets.
How about way over here? You're gonna know you saw, yeah. Oh. Are you together?
Fight.
Okay. We'll get both of your questions. What do you think about that?
Whoa.
All right, go for it.
I think he won, actually. No, I'm just kidding. Whoa.
Mortal Kombat, go.
So my question is, what are some voices that you did as a kid that you wish you could still do? And also, people that really love Warren, can you do Harry's voices sometimes? Harry's?
You'll have to ask Kyori Senpai. I think it costs extra.
Nice. Oh yeah, I mean, I wish I could do Al simply because, well, I guess there are 2 reasons. One, because that's the one that I get asked the most, and then I always like watch like little baby angel cats die in the fans' eyes where I'm like, yeah, no, puberty. Die and fall out like contacts. It's really disconcerting, honestly, a little bit gross.
You should just do it. You should say Al's lines, but in your voice, and they'll be like, you don't sound like him.
Yes, I do. Yeah, you gotta be like, brother.
Finish the fight.
Yeah, just do Master Chief lines.
He's big in a metal suit. True. I think that's what it is. Alphonse grows up to be Master Chief. Parallel universe.
That's how he's so survivable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's nothing under.
Right.
There's something in there.
That's it.
Who has not asked or... Oh, yeah, that's right. I don't know you saw.
You guys always said that you guys wanted to do stuff other than voice acting. Well, I mean, like outside of your voice acting job. Even though it's still voice acting, would you guys ever do a break series? Or like just do that on the side for fun?
Totally. If it was well written, in a heartbeat. I find those hilarious. I'd probably get in trouble, but I'd do it and then like use a fake name. I'd be like, that wasn't me.
You abridge, like play your characters in the abridged versions.
Oh no, that would be...
That, I think, is what would get us in trouble.
That would screw us,
Honestly,
yeah.
that would maybe get us in trouble. Yeah, and for certain things, we wouldn't be allowed to do that. Here's something pretty current. Screw Attack does these death battle things. And the new one is Cammy White from Street Fighter versus somebody, and I hope he wins. Yeah. And so people kept tweeting me, are you going to be Cammy? Are you going to be Cammy? And legally, I cannot. I'm not allowed to do that. Like, Capcom would fire me, and then I would never get to be Cammy again. So those things are fan-made, so they can't use the professionals in them. And I think that might be the same situation with a bridge series. We could be in it, but just in the background or some other character, but not ourselves.
Yeah. We could possibly be like each other. We could like trade. I'll be Cammy. You be the person Cammy fights.
All right.
That'll throw
You'll be
Tom
Cammy.
off.
Let me hear your best Cammy wife. Go. Shoots us a nice big loud spiral arrow for the room.
What, you shout spiral arrow?
Spiral arrow.
Can you do it for reference?
Spiral arrow! Like that. You're British also.
Spiral arrow!
Get that man some tights and a beret. You're hired.
Yeah, I always have to cosplay to do the voice acting. Very method. So.
Ask somebody I think somebody's actor.
Ooh, you right there. Oh, okay. Yeah, I actually I think there was a little soda place down the street. I went and got some soda. There was a Thai tea, boba, got some boba. Then I got home, made myself a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. No, I'm just kidding, I didn't really make one. My awesome mother made me one. No, my mom's really cool. Yeah, so she made me a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I think I sat back and watched some TV and I was like, oh, cool, hey, I was just in an anime. Yeah.
I gotta do my homework.
Yeah, now time to go do my homework, then I'll go back and watch some Naruto or something. Yeah, no, that's what happened. For real.
Yeah. All right. So I have two questions. One serious, one less serious. The first one is, Zach, we talked about this yesterday when you did the signing, where you did a great job for Slane Troyard, but maybe he's not your favorite character from a personal standpoint. Do any of you have characters who maybe you voice, but they aren't your favorite character, and you saw anything challenging or interesting that you never do?
So they're not my favorite character?
Like somebody that you don't like personally, but maybe you weren't a big fan of that character, but you got to voice them, and so now how do you go about that if it happens?
Gosh, let me think. It's so weird. I actually like almost all of the characters I play. Right? I don't know.
I think that is our task, if I could interrupt. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's our task as actors. If you don't like your character, that's going to come out in your performance. Unless it's a part of their characteristic to not like themselves, and people like that, that they exist. I think you have to not just like them, but love them to make them real.
Yeah, all my characters, they haven't really done anything too bad that wasn't understandable. I mean, maybe if I played some some serial killer or something like that, then I'd be oh yeah, that character, super fun to play, but no, terrible character.
Slane Troyard!
But Inamo deserved it. I mean, seriously. What?
But then for my second question, real quick. Zach, does your mom move here? Don't you have to go back to school shopping?
Oh yeah.
So mean to you!
I know. I don't understand. No, my parents know I'm here. They know I'm out here having fun. They've been keeping up with the texts, just checking in on me. I'm like, yeah, I'm fine.
I bet Aaron's just glad that it's not you getting picked on anymore.
No, it's always me. It's always me, and then everybody tweets me oh, how old are you? You 12 or something? I'm like,
how old are you? That's what you should text me.
Yeah, no, Erica Mendez and we have this ongoing joke, just on forever 12, 12 or 13. I don't know, I might be 13 now.
Is that the store you shop at, Forever 12? Thank you, I'll be here all weekend. How about right here in the front?
I have two questions. One, because you're doing your voices and not so much your faces, have you guys had moments where you've been out somewhere and a fan just voice or that's recognizing your voice or your name on your ID or something like that, and then you just had that moment where it's wow, you kind of this is new when it's celebrated, you get recognized on site. But have you ever had an
instance where you've been recognized by your voice by fans and was cringe and not in anecdotes about that?
Yes. College. I had just finished using the restroom at the Student Union Center. I had washed my hands. But you know, I'll say, I'm not gonna, without going into too much detail, I'd been in there for a minute, and there was a man waiting for me. He was one of the employees at the Student Union Center. He was like, "Hey, are you Aaron Dismuke?" And I was like, "Yes." And he was like, "Well, me and my friend," and he gestures at his friend who's literally like on the clock, like behind the desk, like, who waves with the camera. And he's like, "We were wondering if we could get a picture." And I was like, "Totes." And so yeah, that happened. It was interesting. That's the one time ever though. Another time I did see, I was sitting next to someone at the library at my school, like doing homework right before in high school, and there was a girl next to me doing an FMA montage, like making it on her little Microsoft Paint or something. And I was like, "Who's your favorite character?" She was like, "Ed." And I was like,
That's amazing.
Yeah, no, none of that stuff's happened to me yet. You know, I'm still pretty new, so maybe it will. I don't know. Yeah, I know. Yeah, maybe it'll happen. Maybe I'll like be in like the coffee shop. Who am I kidding? I don't drink coffee.
That's not your code. A second ago, I'm like, "You'll be nice to Zach."
"I know, what happened? Help me."
You set them up, honestly. Come on, you set up these jokes.
Yeah, no. I'll be at like at a 7-Eleven, like getting like a Slurpee or something. That's it.
Wonderful.
Yeah, that's what's happening.
And my other question is, is there anything in particular that you guys like to do for fun that's not related to your hobby? Are you gamers? I know you said you're a gamer. Like, what's your favorite games? Is there any particular hobbies you do? And you can cook, anything that you do, and kind of unusual talents or crafts or anything?
Yes, there's a lot of things I do. I do a lot of things. No, it's a lot of people don't know this. Some of the stuff I'll just like lay it all out on the table. I played piano for like 13 years, so I'm a pianist. I used to do a lot of recitals and stuff, and that's kind of like what helped me, I guess, find anime. You know, like playing a lot of music when I was younger. And then I also, like in my free time now, I kind of like to build PCs. Like I'm a PC gamer. I do play a lot. Yeah, I have like an Xbox too for like Halo, and I play like some stuff on the PS4. So I like, I like to put PCs together, and I play like things like Overwatch and League of Legends and.
Oh my god, that's.
Oh, what about Pokemon Go? Mystic.
Instant. Whoa, got a level 30 gold.
I don't play that, sorry guys.
For your hobbies.
I like to break into abandoned places. I've been to. It's literally this is what I do. Yeah, I've been to an abandoned power plant by the Trinity River in my hometown, a meat packing facility that was closed in the 60s, and then they used it to shoot the TV show Prison Break, so it has these like guard towers in it, and it looks just like the Holocaust.
What do you do when you're in there? Like take pictures, or just like I did it, and then you go home?
They're like large facilities, and they have a lot of graffiti. So yeah, if there's like a nice piece of graffiti art, I'll take a picture of it. Mostly I explore. There's weird stuff with that. I found an umbrella right next to like a kid's shoe. I think people leave things for each other, and I've started to do that too. I've started to leave creepy things for the next explorer. Yeah, well, geocaching, I feel like is actually no. I'm just too lazy to use apps in general.
To look it up, I guess.
Yeah, it's just scavenger hunts, but with an app.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I get it. That's cool.
I should do that though. You're right.
I work too much. It's hard to say what my hobbies are. I'm sort of a workaholic right now. But otherwise, when I do have free time, I just like to spend it with my husband and my dogs. And we live in a cool neighborhood, so just the chance to, it's so romantic and dorky, just like be with each other. We have 2 French bulldogs. So we'll take the dogs out, go for a walk, go We collect records, my husband does, so a lot of vinyl shopping happens in our life. And toys, we collect like Tsum Tsum and Disney junk on the back. So I used to do other things, but mainly it's like, I have time. I don't want to do anything. Oh, wouldn't that be cool? All right, somebody else pick.
Very back. Yes.
This actually is for Kaylin.
Oh, hi.
So, it's not really, well, it is a question, but about 10 years ago, I'm going to totally embarrass my child right now, but 10 years ago, I met you, gray hair, Kristen Freeman, you guys did a whole panel, Monica was there, and my son Andrew kind of stole the show that day. And I have a picture of him giving you a rose. You were holding him. I don't have a picture of him. But we were in line for the autographs. We got kind of cut. You guys had to go. But I really wanted him to see it. He doesn't quite remember it.
Okay.
And so I wanted him to.
This is cool. Kristen, right? Anime USA.
Yeah, it was Anime USA. We saw Greg in February at KatsuCon. He totally remembered the whole thing, and I brought up pictures in, and he couldn't believe how big he got from being 3 to 13.
Get up here and get embarrassed by your mother. Get used to it.
Just like me.
We've got the whole family here to support you. That's awesome. Yeah, of course.
And I can put it next to the one.
Yeah, this is so crazy.
To bring the picture up before.
No flowers this time, though. I'm starting to take the relationship for granted.
It's becoming a real man. This is a fun panel. Thanks for letting me crash. I'd be so bored otherwise. Who's next?
Okay, if you've asked a question before, please put your hand down for now. Thank you, y'all. Yes.
So you guys started when you were fairly young. Kids like to do pranks. You ever like prank call people and you what's acting voices or things like that?
Oh gosh, when I was beforehand, I had this really kind of mischievous friend, my buddy Ethan. He would do all of these accents or whatever. Have you guys ever seen Onage prank calls?
Yeah.
On YouTube? Definitely need to look up Onage prank calls. It's incredibly racist. He's doing all these crazy accents, and so, one of these days I was like, oh yeah, sure, like I could do that, or I could put a little spin on my voice or do something weird. And so like we would call up like random people that we knew, like mutual friends, or sometimes he'd be like, when I was 12, like I was able to do like this weird voice, like this thing that made me sound like a 15-year-old, like this lower voice, and it's like, oh my god, dude, like go do your deep voice for my friend and freak him out and tell him that you're like after him or something, and you're gonna come find him, and like, I should be in jail. So yeah, I used to do stuff like that. I haven't really done anything like that recently, even though like when I was younger, when I was like 13, 14 and like getting into the industry, I was extremely like focused, because like I was extremely focused, and I tried to be as professional as possible, because I really wanted so badly to be a voice actor, like that was like that was the goal, that was the dream, and so I just kind of like tried to work really hard for that. So I guess I kind of got a little bit serious along the way, but as I'm getting older, I'm seeing how cool, like how chill everyone is, like in the industry. It's just kind of like loosening me up again, and I'm just like, yeah.
Speaking of, the people in the industry being chill. I haven't done this because I'm not that clever, but there was a panel, and Vic and Todd were asked to prank call the owner of an anime store that was local in Orlando.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So Vic calls first, and he's like talking as Ed, and he's like. Basically, like, asks about, he's like, yeah, have you ever heard of, next to Todd, he's like, have you ever heard of fairy something? It's got a, I don't know, some sort of, like, weird guy with, like, scales on him or something. She's like, fairy tale? And he's like, yeah. And so, you know, like, he works his way to asking about fairy tale, and then Todd calls Invoices Natsu after that, and asks about FMA. And they would and the owner was just like a little nonplussed. Didn't ask. It never quite got there. But yeah, that was pretty fascinating. Yeah, I don't know. I like the concept anyway.
Who else hasn't asked one? About way back here, you've got black hair.
Oh, okay. I have a question for Zach. What's your favorite League of Legends character?
Oh, my favorite League of Legends character, Vayne. I'm a Vayne player. Okay. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
I too am in an abusive relationship with League. And Echo for me.
Oh, Echo, yeah.
Rest in peace.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've only uninstalled League like 20 times.
Oh my god, you want to install it too?
Yeah.
Dude. It's on my, it's like every program on my computer, whenever I go to the start menu, like there's a shortcut for the things you frequently do to programs, and League's the only one that has uninstall as the frequent
No, it's just weird, you know, like sometimes like I play ranked and I lose, and I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna get this crap off my computer, and I uninstall it. And then my buddies are like, oh gosh, dude, we're gonna play some League. I'm like, okay, give me like 3 hours so I can reinstall this thing again.
And every time you uninstall it, the YouTube starts to give you ads for it.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but it does it to me.
Oh yeah, no.
Only when I uninstall it. It's like League of Legends is a team game. It's like, I know! It's like getting texts from your ex. It's horrible.
I picked, so now it's someone else's turn.
Okay, I'll pick. Right there, purple shit.
Alright. You were trapped on a desert island. Desert island boys. Who would you pick to be
No,
trapped?
the one that was in the book. Like there's official picture of everything on everything.
Well, Al's the nicest, but he's not edible. It's a tough one. Oh, this is like my 5th cannibal joke since we've...
Yeah, Aaron has problems with things like that.
That's funny.
Food inside and cook it.
We're on a desert island, though.
You could get inside that armor for shelter.
But what if it bakes me?
Ew, that's pretty groovy too. I don't do that.
Bring some ice cream to the green room.
Green room ice cream is best.
Green room ice cream is awesome. Let's go get some.
Yeah,
I want
you
some
know.
after this.
Gosh, you know what? One character would definitely be Genos, because you made a really good point. Like, you know, I go catch like something, and he could just like fry it a little bit. Maybe, hopefully, it doesn't turn to ash. I don't know. I don't know who else. Can I just like take one character and like leave the rest just out of there? Not that I don't like them. I don't know. I just don't trust any of the other ones on the list.
Yeah, trust thing's an issue for sure.
I think Winry, because she could figure stuff out. She's really smart, and obviously she's tech savvy. I don't imagine there would be much technology and mechanics on a deserted island, but I think she could build things if I needed to. Maybe we find like a plane that crashed there, and she's like, I can fix it, and then we can get out. I don't know. Somebody tough also to like fight any sort of scary stuff that might come along, or like kill a shark or something. So maybe like Ellen from Lord Marksman, probably. She's pretty cool.
I think I figured mine out. Okay, this, nobody's gonna notice, but there's this guy named Leon from Black Hat, and he has wind powers. Oh, okay. And so him, because I don't think he would kill me. you know, he's like one of those bad guys who like turns good, spoiler alert, he like turns out to be okay. So like, and with the wind powers, I'm pretty sure we could go fishing in a very effective way. We literally just pull the shark out of the water and then plop it down and then cook it on Al's arbor. Be a little rare, but it's okay with fish. Or we could fly away.
Got it. Who hasn't asked one yet? Over here, the white hair. He was cool.
This is kind of for all of you. A few years ago, I went to a panel with Chris Mason, and he told this little story about you, Aaron, when you were young and doing Al in the booth, where you've been tipping in your chair and kept falling off. Yeah. And I was just wondering if maybe you have any other like awkward booth stories like that, any embarrassing moments.
Is this only for Aaron?
Not any of us.
Oh, for any of us.
It's for anyone but me. Mine's established. I fell in the chair.
I'll tell you, speaking of Chris Cason, I'll tell you guys what, I have a story to tell about Chris. This happened recently, and it's going on right now, every time I go to record. So anyways, one day, like, funny enough, when we were recording One Punch Man, it always goes back to the Seeking place. I don't know why, maybe we just spent like a good amount of time on that or something. But I remember I was like recording the fight for Seeking, and I'm just, you know, I'm super focused, I'm like totally in the character, I'm like ready to like, you know, get punched and almost, you know, bad things. Anyway, I remember there was just this long silence, you know, I'm just looking at the script and I'm looking at the, you know, the character, yeah, I'm just like waiting, you know, because like I don't want to lose the character, you know, like I'm like so ready to do my line, and then, you know, as I kind of like start to die, like it just kind of like, okay, and then it just kind of dies down. I'm just like, okay, let me, like, and I look over to the left because, you know, I've just been ready to do my line for like 5 minutes, and I look over to the left and I see Chris and the engineer, and they're just like this. And okay, so and the thing is though, you can't hear what they're saying unless they press like the little intercom button. So I'm just looking through a glass window and I just see them making the weirdest, most like disgusting faces, like they just like tasted the worst thing in their life. So what happens is they're like, I'm like, guys, like, what's going on? And then he's like, oh, Zach. And he presses the intercom button and he's like, oh my gosh, like this intern just brought in the worst tasting soda I've ever had. He's like, it tastes like bathwater in some old grandmother's couch. And I know, right? It's like, it's sick. And it's like peanut butter, it's supposed to be peanut butter and jelly soda, but it didn't taste anything like it.
He's addicted to weird sodas. He's always taking pictures and tweeting them.
That's what happened.
He can't stop drinking them. Like key lime soda, that sounds like a great idea.
That was the start of it. That's the start of it. He keeps bringing in sodas and like getting it.
Baking soda, sign me up. No, Chris, no.
Yeah, it's freaking, it's terrible, but I just remember like looking at them, and so funny enough, like after that happened, he's like, okay, and like, you know, we're supposed to be recording, right? Like we're on the clock and we're like recording and stuff, and he's like, hey, wanna try some? And so he brings in a cup, and he pours some of the soda in a cup for me, and I literally take like one sip of it. I'm just like, it's the worst thing I've ever tried in my life. And it's so funny because then when we go back to recording, I look through the window again, and Chris
they're doing it again?
He's still drinking it. Him and the engineer, we all agreed that it was the worst thing we've ever tasted, but he's still drinking it. Yeah, well, the thing is, it's kind of like that thing in your head, like when somebody enjoys like a soda, so like he's like, why do they make this? You know, so he just keeps drinking it to like, you know, trying to like taste like the goodness of it. And we're just like, Chris, there is nothing good about this soda. It was like manufactured like out of the sewage. Like it tastes terrible. And so that was just kind of like a weird story, but now we have like this whole soda thing going on. Like people, other voice actors like stop by like Rocket Fizz, the soda place that I was talking about that I went to before, after when I was like 16 years old. Yeah, they go to the soda place and everybody gets like the weird like Lester's Fix-It soda, and it's just like, we tried like the weirdest stuff and they all taste terrible. I don't know why we keep doing it.
Make it a good one.
All right, yeah, go for it.
What are you gonna miss most about Baltimore?
Oh, because I won't be here. It's the last year in Baltimore.
Me and the crab asparagus omelet only recently became acquainted with that.
Yeah.
It was sweet while it lasted.
I think from what, like that.
Don't worry, I'll do it. You go and tell your.
Okay, I think I will miss the harbor itself. I think it's just a really nice view. It's beautiful to look at, even though I didn't get down to it very much this year. It's just nice that it's there, and the water, and the boat, and all that stuff. Yeah.
Gosh, what can I say? I think that I'm gonna miss. The wonderful weather. Isn't it beautiful? Isn't it fantastic? I walk outside and I'm already dripping with sweat. My hair's like this. This is why I'm wearing a hat. Yeah, no, the aquarium, I think. Definitely.
Did you get to go to it?
I went to the aquarium. It's so nice. You won't believe it. They actually have the, like, it sounds weird, but they have like the jellyfish petting place.
What?
Now, you can, yeah, I touched a jellyfish. And
I touched one too. It really hurt.
Well, that's the difference. You didn't touch it right.
To be fair, it touched me.
It's like that no jellyfish, you know, you gotta like you gotta like touch it on the top of the you know, its little.
You gotta talk to it, buy it a drink first. You can't just go straight in for these things.
Right?
Take it out to dinner. Yeah. Someone was pushing.